everybody.
Oh, no.
What a way to spend a Monday.
What a way. What a way to spend a day in general.
So I've been on Stephanie's bum
Uh-oh.
all afternoon. What have I been telling you not to do?
She goes, don't look at the clips. Meghan was on a podcast. She wasn't wearing makeup, even though she is wearing bronzer. We all know that. But she goes, don't look at the clips. And I go, oh, God, it's going to be so hard. So I didn't go on Twitter. I didn't go, or X.
Because I asked everybody, I said, do you want to see our reaction? Like, because usually how the videos work is I go in there, Stephanie sees it all on Twitter first. Hey, Rach. And, we do all these, and then I make the show, I produce the show, and then I put up the clips. I've already seen what I'm watching. Stephanie reacts to them, and then I have to watch it again and edit. I'm like, how about we just not watch it and you guys see our actual reaction to this? Because I think this is one of the first times in my life, from what I have seen a little bit of it,
I've seen a little too.
The podcaster is more annoying than Meghan.
I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. I think we have to react to it and just kind of go from there. I'm feeling so much better. I got food poisoning on Friday. It lasts 48 hours. It's out of my system. I'm crossing my fingers that it's out of my system.
Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday you ate it.
I ate it on Thursday, had food poisoning all night, then Friday all night, and then Saturday kind of feeling squeamish, but then I'm feeling a little bit better. So thank you for asking. I am no longer ever going to eat dairy again. I'm not kidding.
Really?
I can't.
Unless you're in New York.
I can't even imagine having dairy at this point.
Because
I know that's what it was.
Even when we moved to Tuscany?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
I've got my Zach.
Ça va bien?
I'm in a Zach pack kind of mood.
Ooh.
I think because I talked to him today and he's like, I'm wearing my sweatshirt too. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm wearing my own too.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll wear yours. Cool. Who else is here? We're just giving everybody a couple minutes to get on and then we're just going to dive right in.
Kathy, did you watch it already? I think Kathy sounds like she did. She goes, this is going to be good. Your jaw will be on the floor from the beginning. Oh,
that's the other thing. Stephanie goes, well, why don't we just clip it so we don't have to bore everyone? And I said, I think the entire podcast is
cringe,
like Oprah cringe on another level. That's what I was watching a little bit of the clips. And then I was like, this might be worth watching the whole thing with everybody. And that way, the people that don't want to watch the entire thing, and we understand that, trust me, I will then put together a condensed version, the Reader's Digest version of the show for you tomorrow. And that way you can just watch the clips, the cringiest parts. That might be the whole thing. I don't know. Hopefully not for us.
Grab your favorite tequila, whiskey, bourbon, wine, mocktail, tea, anything that'll make it go by a little bit easier.
And grab your florals.
Grab those
florals. Man, what they must be thinking in the UK right now. And it's William and Catherine's 14th wedding anniversary.
Why do you think she did this? Why do you think Meghan did this?
Because they're
Ooh.
And they're going to Scotland for a couple days, and that's going to be nice. So we will cover that tomorrow. God, I hear Meghan is going to have Katy Perry on. She should. I think, you know what? That is probably one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time. Please let that be true, because if anybody, listen, we're going to cover this on our Saturday Night Live roundup show, our pop culture roundup show this Saturday. But we're going to do Bill Belichick. But we're going to cover Katy Perry. Her tour is a complete disaster.
Well, the album was a complete disaster. Who wants to go listen to it live when it was panned during the actual streaming?
Some people might like her and go, I just want to watch her live.
That album was horrible.
Some people are saying that when she went up there, that an alien came back. That could have happened.
Like that Johnny Depp movie.
There's so many movies like that.
Yeah, I like that Johnny Depp one though.
Will you both be drinking? Yes, I brought some beer.
Oh dear. Nancy's beer.
Do you want a beer, Stephanie?
I don't drink beer.
I drink Stella Artois.
I don't drink beer. It gets me a little bloated. I might a little bit later, but not this second. You know what, Nancy? It might not be that bad.
Yeah.
And then Nancy, Meghan might be relatable today.
Stephanie has Patron and Grey Goose in the freezer.
Might have a little Grey Goose.
Hopefully,
the beer hit the mic. Nancy's beer hit the mic. But there's Grey Goose and tequila in my freezer, so I might get into the Grey Goose a little bit later. I might mix that in with my Gatorade. You know, I mean, I just got off food poisoning, so the best thing to do.
Your stomach's nice and empty. You'll get a good. You'll get a good buzz.
I'll get a good buzz.
She's gonna get the best buzz ever.
I mean, Nancy, I could not have detoxed any more than I did this.
Oh
weekend.
my God, you're so lucky.
I know.
Actually, I
lost like 5 pounds.
I didn't drink in Seattle.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't drink once.
But I bet you ate.
See, I didn't eat a lot too. I usually, like my boyfriend always says, he goes, "Man, you love eating on vacation." I go, "I do. I eat a lot." But I didn't eat as much on this trip. So,
good. You've got the kettle on. See, maybe I'll have a spot of tea. A spot of tea. I was watching reruns of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and
we got over 1,000. I think we can.
Yeah, we could start.
But I want to hear your Real Housewives
story. Oh no, Lisa Vanderpump. She goes. Everyone from America thinks that all us British people have the same accent, but we don't. And I do. I feel like that's what when we say a spot of tea.
Oh yeah,
it's like I probably sound like I'm from Manchester, and then I think of remember that Kids in the Hall episode where Kevin was teaching the accent class?
Yes.
And then Mark did this great. Sorry, it was muted again. That darn beer keeps muting our mic.
I don't know what's doing it. Sorry.
No, but then Mark does the Scottish, right?
Scotty.
Does he do Scottish or something?
Yes, Scottish.
And then
hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues.
But, okay, guys.
Someone just said, "Why are we drinking?" We're about to watch and listen to the entire podcast that Meghan did today. She apparently was not wearing makeup. She was wearing sneakers, trainers,
and black,
and all black,
yeah.
And but the bronzer could not be any thicker.
Yeah, and it was like cool it on the thing because we actually warned people, was it yesterday, on yesterday's live, about talking too much about the kids. And then I noticed a lot of people were getting their Twitter things bookmarked on certain tweets, and even mine. Guys, she's going to use the kids. If we say anything about how they look, whatever, it's going to get used against us eventually. I think Meghan is starting a dossier, because without context, if Meghan puts this all together in a documentary and you just see us and Taz and all these people in a row saying just the same thing,
like, oh, the kids,
and without any context whatsoever or why we're here,
they'll do that.
They'll do that, and that's what I'm afraid of. So I think we need to stick with what Meghan is saying.
I agree, Bronze Lady. It is. It reminds me of, I just saw little snippets here and there, but the fact that everyone's going, "Oh, she didn't wear makeup. She was very real today. She was authentic." No, she was wearing bronzer, probably this thick. She did what a Kardashian does when they go, "I'm not wearing makeup."
Well, it looked like either a spray tan or
that was bronzer.
Or you know how when mom goes to the Riviera or whatever, our mom has the exact skin tone as Meghan.
Nancy, that was bronzer.
But the freckles come out in mom and she gets dark. I'm saying she could have been out by the pool too. We don't know.
So you're just saying she just waltzed into there,
I don't know,
without any bronzer, and that's the way she looks. No Botox scars anywhere to be found.
Yeah.
No makeup.
Okay.
Oh, just everything.
Okay, guys. Again, grab your florals, grab your alcohol, and
salsa.
Here we go. We have not seen this yet. Get ready. Buckle up. Jeez.
So beautiful. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you. We spend so much of our life trying to prove something. To prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss.
They're trying to make it look like Oprah.
Oh, that was totally Oprah. It was like, oh.
Do you think that chick is filler and Botox or just filler?
That's like everything.
I think filler.
She had her eyes lifted. So
yeah.
What is that? Botox?
I want to say Botox and
I don't
filler.
know what that is.
Allegedly.
Like, because I know that I'm a great friend.
We are coming out with a bang.
She dumped Jessica so fast. Oh my God.
How about the girl that she went to elementary school with and middle school with?
She dumps those people so fast. She doesn't like black women. She doesn't have one black friend except if they're a billionaire.
Yeah.
But no, but oh my God. I'm a great friend.
Also, what Meghan is doing right now is she knows this chick is very like foo-foo, guru, self-help.
Boho.
So what she's doing, what most narcissists do, is she's going to try to be a chameleon in this girl's podcast setting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just Meghan.
I'm just in my sweats.
Yeah.
I'm in my sweats and my hair.
Yeah.
I didn't even do my hair.
Yeah.
Her hair's completely done.
Yeah.
That's all glam.
Or a wig.
You know what I mean,
yeah,
though.
Yeah.
There's nothing natural.
Because,
whether it's
and I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now. Getting out of the prove it game, like, feels like joy, tastes like freedom. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview. It's happening! It's happening!
I was like, oh, the roses are coming back in.
They're coming back in.
Yes,
they're coming back in.
Spring is sprung.
I'm so grateful you're here. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Hi, crew.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
You know what? I don't like that. Hi, crew. Why don't you just say hi to everyone?
because she
Why
wants,
are we always labeling? She's got to always label people.
She wants to make sure people see that
That
she's
she's nice to the crew?
Yeah, that's
But
why.
Hi, staff.
Okay.
Hi, staff.
We haven't even started the interview.
No,
We
just say hi.
gotta
We're
get through
free.
this.
It doesn't make any sense.
I have not done a show in no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look
still
exactly
have
the same though. These are some of the hot questions that everyone wants to know.
Oh.
Talk about your name. Do you use Markle anymore? What's your morning routine look like? Would you ever write another book?
People are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir.
Would you ever run for office? Can you give us one hint on something exciting coming up for As Ever? I have had your jam in my refrigerator all year. No one knows. No one's seen it. I have not posted it. In this incredible conversation, Meghan shares stories and insights for the first time ever.
It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply and I love being able to see your growth. That man loves me so much. And look what we built. We built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. That's my husband. He's just out there just constant, like he's just going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still making a difference.
Are you in love now more than ever?
So I feel like it's more of a honeymoon period for us now. He's also, if you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
I have a letter from your husband and your kids. No one's ever seen this before.
Of all things, it's making me emotional.
I have full body chills right now.
For them to be able to look back and go,
Okay, we'll get to the interview.
Yeah, let's just get to it, man. Because this is crazy. It's disgusting.
Moment sitting in these 2 rocking chairs in my house, just talking about all the things and
for hours. Just watching the world go by, talking and talking. And I think, well, to answer, when you're saying someone writes in saying, how do you make friends as an adult? It's such a great question to find that depth of friendship at the onset. I think it's kind of, when you're on a plane. And I remember like back in the day, you'd sit next to a stranger and sometimes you'd feel more comfortable telling your life story to a complete stranger
Right.
than the person that is part of your day to day.
Yeah.
And so you start with that immediate trust, but I guess the difference is for us, it's just become so lasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lasting.
And so just multi-layered. And I think
Oh, yeah.
trust is such a big deal. And this is your first ever podcast interview. Thank you for trusting.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild. Thank you for trusting me to be here. You haven't seen any of the questions ahead of time. And we're in our sweats and you have your Archie and Lily on your amazing.
I made that on Etsy last year. It's faded, but this is what I would wear if I come to your house. So
all the time.
The same thing.
And you look the exact same with no makeup as makeup. And we're just
that's very generous.
And you still love me even when we get together. If I haven't showered, it's still all the same. And so today is special. And I want to just open up by, because we've had so many conversations about this where like we've talked about how special and important it is for friends to check in on each other and say, are you okay? And I think so many women watching and listening, they maybe are the strong one in their family, or they're the one that has it all together, or they're the one everyone goes to for advice, or they're maybe like crushing it at work and on the outside everything looks great. And so people just assume they're great. Like they just assume they're great. So my very first question, because I think in friendship it's so important, and I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
Okay, let me tell you something. Meghan had a golden opportunity to make fun of herself right now and actually look like a normal person. Kind of be like, are you okay?
I've been asked that before.
Just be like, oh man, I can't believe that I said it in South Africa. I can't believe
She could have been funny.
She had a great moment and she
funny.
ruined it by making it even more cringier.
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about. But how are you doing? There's so much going on.
I'm good. There's
What?
a lot of pinch
it at work and on the outside, everything looks great. And so people just assume they're great. Like they just assume they're great. So my very first question, because I think in friendship, it's so
I already had that. Sorry, guys.
And they believe it's possible, whether it's to be, have a very different life than the one they were raised in, or to launch a business. How do you feel about that?
I take it really seriously.
Yeah.
I think I always check in with my 11-year-old self.
Yeah.
And
this is
the dish soap girl.
No, that's the dish
soap.
That's the dish soap 11-year-old.
Yeah.
She what a psycho. Sorry. It's the beer. Okay. Sorry, guys. I always check in with my soap girl. Soap. What are you drinking? Polar.
How important it is to have people that you look up to and role models. I'll tell you, oh gosh, how silly. You'll think this is a very bizarre example, but when I was 13, my first job was at a frozen yogurt place called Humphrey Yogurt. Mm-hmm. Great name.
That's a lie.
We already proved that to be a lie.
You can't work it's illegal to work in the state of California if you're under the age of 18. That's a lie.
And that was in the 90s. So what were the big shows and things that were on then? Baywatch.
Nice.
So it was like Carmen Electra, Jenny Gar, like all these people, Yasmin Bleeth. And I was taking the trash out from my job and I see Yasmin Bleeth. And I cannot believe I'm seeing Yasmin Bleeth and I'm holding this bag of trash. And I was like, the courage that it took for me to go up to her.
Yeah.
And I went up to her and I said, hi, I love you in this soft and dry deodorant commercial. That's all that could come out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. And she was so gracious. This was such a pivotal moment for me because I never knew I was going to become an actor or someone that people would go up to. Yeah. But this moment was so influential for me because she turned around and she goes, hi, sweetheart, what's your name? First thing I learned, I was like, I'm Meghan. And that moment, I was like, she cares to know what my name is. And then she's like, hi, I'm Yasmin. I know who she is, but she introduced herself. All those years later, no one teaches you how to be an actor once the show becomes successful.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches
Yasmin,
you anything.
Yasmin, please come on our show and tell us if that's even a memory.
Yeah. We know Nicole Eger really well, so maybe we can call
Oh,
Nicole
that's
and
true.
try to get Yasmin on
We could
there.
get Yasmin on there because
Yeah.
Nicole's our friend.
Yeah.
It teaches you what to do when people recognize you.
Yeah.
That moment with Yasmin Bleeth taught me how important it was for someone to make me feel seen and not brushed off. And she might have been asked 100 times that day for a picture or anything else. And it always stayed with me where I go, hi, what's your name? Good to meet you. I'm
You
Megan.
always do that. I see you do that.
You do not. You say the Duchess of Sussex.
Okay, first of all,
You are a
first
liar,
of all-
Megan.
First of all, Yasmin Bleeth in the 90s was a lot more famous than Meghan Markle was on Suits. So I doubt a lot of people were coming up to you when you were on Suits.
I didn't even know what Suits
Yeah,
was.
so I call foul, sir.
All the time.
Yes, because I know how much it means.
Yeah.
So I guess for like that's a really small example of at this scale. I check in with my young girl self because I want to know how I would want to feel in that moment.
Yeah.
I want to know who I would want to look up to in that moment and how I could mimic that behavior or echo that. And yeah, it's a big privilege. It's a big privilege. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And I want everyone to feel like they matter.
Yeah.
Then why do you bully people? If you want
She
people
doesn't
to
think that
matter,
in
then
her
why
head.
do you bully people?
She doesn't think that in her
You
head.
only are nice to billionaires and people that can get you on private planes, like
Yeah.
this chick.
Yeah.
Liar.
Do you think our lives are divinely ordered, or like our steps are divinely ordered when you think about that moment and sort of like seeing that example and now it's part of your life all the time?
Someone said to me last year when I sat down, they said, well, this is your soul contract. You signed up for this. You signed up for this before you were here. And I was like, well, I didn't read the fine print. Okay. To be clear, like, can I redline this and amend the small print because I signed up for this? They're like, no, you signed up for this. You signed up for this. This is your hand and this is your lap around the sun or whatever you want to look at it as, because you can do this. And I guess on days that are hard, that's really grounding and affirming to remember. And then some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this life? I would have never predicted it, but I'm grateful for it, even on the hardest days.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this life?
What
Because
is
you
your
went
life?
from being an actor to a duchess, and then a book author, a children's book author, and then you became a producer of Polo, and then you became Martha Stewart brand,
And then fail at everything.
and then you just fail
Yeah.
at everything. So exactly, what
What
are
are
you?
you?
Who are you?
Even on the hardest days.
In my life, I have so many friends of all different faiths. I have friends that love everything. I have one of my friends who's the strongest Catholic I know, also sees every psychic, every meeting. Like, she's like, God made them too. We're going to cover our bases and all the things.
Well, that's funny because most people one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so open. Like, I've had so many different people on the show. Obviously, I'm pretty open about my faith and how much I believe in God. And, I wanted to ask you this also just in the beginning. I feel like why I'm so grateful this show is connecting with so many people is because it's just everyone needs connection. They want to feel connected and they want to feel seen, to use the words you just used. And they want to feel like less alone and more enough. And I asked Oprah this when she was on the show, why did you say yes? And she just paused and she said, I felt it was divinely ordered. And I was like, so I want to ask you this question because your trust is such a sacred thing. Anybody's trust is a sacred thing. So why did you say yes to doing this show?
Because it's you. And to me, that means, of course, I trust you.
Yeah.
because I needed to go on a show and promote myself, and nobody else will take me.
No, nobody else will do my own questions that I write for them.
And that
You'll do it because you're an idiot, and one day I'll dump you too.
Yeah.
Watch it.
But because I think you feel really confident that it was divinely ordered. Maybe all of this, our friendship, you becoming our neighbor, the depth of our friendship, and then these opportunities that we both have to be able to uplift each other and celebrate the work that we're doing. But to have never done a podcast, I mean, and then to say, great, let's do it. Like, literally, let's let people who are watching this feel like they're just sitting with us as at your house as we would do it.
Meghan, Meghan, this shouldn't be a difficult thing for you. You've had 2 failed podcasts, but you still know the gist of how a podcast works. So why are you acting like this is new to you in any way?
We're just here sitting around. I'm in my kit.
Like, this is so stupid. She's acting like she doesn't know what a podcast is.
We're just being real with each other. It's just you and me.
Yeah, I'm not real with anybody else on my podcast. You're just real.
I'm fake on mine.
Yeah.
Okay, great, we've done drop off. Okay, the day is done. The kids are in the bath. Can we just carve out time and sit and relax? And I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself with someone who knows me in such a deep and profound way.
That's what sucks.
How long have they known each other?
No. She's not. She's talking about Harry, probably.
No, she's talking about them. Yes.
Oh, man.
How long have these 2 known each other?
I don't know.
Probably what, 5 years? That's
Maybe.
it. Maybe
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
And she's saying that they know each
Yeah.
other that well.
And I think that's where you can meet people on a really, really pure, connected level. When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great. Let's let them see us. See our friendship, see us, see what it's really like.
Our friendship.
Meghan, there's nothing authentic of what you're saying right now.
Or what you're doing.
Trust me, they are not seeing a friendship.
It probably
has
took you
been such a journey. And what I mean by that is, you know, when I sold it to L'Oreal, and even before then, one of the things that caught me off guard was when we were then part of L'Oreal, so many celebrities entered my orbit. So a lot of them wanted contracts with L'Oreal, which was why.
Right.
But it was this whole thing. And so I've seen inside so many different worlds, and I've seen how the press is part of all the things. Getting to know you for who you truly are, why I felt so passionate about this is like, I want people to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to get emotional if I talk about it, but like that's my intention. And I think that's what I feel called to do in this interview. So for me, it feels divinely ordered for that reason. Is like, I feel, you know, I think that it's a gift to celebrate my friend with the world. And I think I've seen a lot of things in my life. I have never seen anything like what you go through on a daily basis.
I know.
I have never seen any.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Get the shots out.
Get the chips.
Get the chips in the shot.
the
Give me the
chips.
Grey Goose.
I've got the chips.
Give me the Grey Goose.
Okay.
I need the shot for this because we are about to have this Lima chick talk about how awful the online scrutiny is. That's what I'm assuming she's going to say. And I just could imagine what Meghan's answer is going to be for this. But let's get to some. But yes, Marsha's here, and she says Meghan is such a victim. Woe is me. The baby voice is very cringy. I agree with you guys. Sorry, the chat's going by really fast right now.
Do you just want a shot?
I'll just take the bottle.
Oh, okay. It's all icy on them.
Yeah, I know. I put it in the
Okay.
I'll just take the bottle. I'll just take a nice shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot of Grey Goose here before this masterpiece starts. Woo! Oh, it's good though. Goes down nice.
It's probably watered down.
Okay, let's listen to what Meghan has to go through on. Dude.
No,
anything like it.
I know.
I think what's so beautiful is when people connect, who are listening or watching, connect with the truth, and they'll know it's true in their soul when they hear and listen to this. And that's what I think is so special. And so
I love that. And I appreciate it because, you know, if it's, you know, the newness of our friendship, you're able to see that and think about the friends I've had for a really long time and their experience of watching it and going, oh my gosh. And then people that I reconnect with all these years later who literally can go, but you're the same.
you're the same.
I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And how hard that is.
How are you the same?
No. I think, listen, I think that's the one thing she said that's true. She's always been a bee and a narcissist.
And a bully, you mean?
And a bully. I think that's why they go, you're the same. I think that's what, that's what I think. But in her mind, it's like, wait a sec, Mom.
Is the mic. All right, hold on. Here we go.
When I'm like, but I'm the same. But
Yeah.
that's not what gets clicks or sells papers. So they need to do something else. But you're like, hey guys, I'm still here doing the same stuff.
I'll never forget, you and I were at a business conference together.
Amy's.
At Amy Griffin's, our friend Amy Griffin's. And afterwards we got back, and I think there was like lots of different just group photos from all the different people there on social media. No big deal. And I'd spoken at it. You were so supportive, all the things. Get back. I'm like, great. All of a sudden,
You told me about this.
within like I'm so glad you don't see this. Within 5 seconds, there was thousands of articles. I was like, and what was wild to me about it was like, none of them were true. And I was like watching this, I'm like, this is wild. I'd never experienced that before. And I thought I'd seen everything. I really did. And then I remember one of my aunts called me and she's like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I heard that you and Meghan were in a huge fight. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, she's amazing. What are you talking about? And she was literally so worried for me that maybe like, because we got in a big fight. I'm like, huh?
I know.
And it was wild to me that, you know, regular, and she's a teacher, like she's not looking at all this stuff. So regular people are getting these articles everywhere, and it's thousands of them.
Yeah.
Thousands daily.
Yes.
And I'm like, none of these are true.
Yeah, we didn't get into a fight.
No, we've never been. We had the best time.
You know why they never got into a fight? Because everyone is terrified of Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
I mean, the terror in her eyes.
We're getting to the portion of the podcast where there's going to be a lot of gaslighting. And see, what they're doing is it's really easy to say. They nitpick the stories that aren't true. Meghan's really good at this. It's saying, well, we didn't have a fight, but I'm sure there were other stories that happened that were true in that article, but she won't bring that up.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it was the most empowering, inspiring,
I know.
And I'm just watching this. And so it was interesting because, I mean, nothing surprised me. We've all heard about tabloids for years. None of that surprised me. But what surprised me was it was the first time I was part of it to see just how absolutely incongruent it is from the truth. And then also to see how other people get it, you know? So I was just like,
Yeah, and how it breaks through.
yes.
And that people
yes,
can't decipher what's real or what's not.
Yes.
And I think it's really hard for people to understand that even in this day and age, that things can be printed that just aren't true. I think that's really hard to wrap your head around, especially at the volume that it happens when it comes to me.
How often do you see stories, whether they're in magazines or online? We need to pause for a super brief break. And while we do, take a moment to share this episode with every single person that you know who
maybe 1% of what's in the world I would see, and only if it's brought to me and said, like, you should really read this. You will learn.
She's talking about what she actually reads in social media
what
and
her
magazines.
assistants give her.
I don't read tabloids.
She's full of it. She
Yeah.
reads all
She
the
reads
tabloids. She
everything.
reads People, Us.
She's probably watching this
Star.
right now.
She's probably watching this show right now. She was probably watching Jen's show earlier.
Yeah.
Trust me, she watches and reads it all.
Learn something from it, or this is really good insight, or I think you'll appreciate how this writer or journalist really wants to get the story right, or the text of like, Hey, just sending love and checking in. And you're like, your hackles go up. About what? What now? What is it now? What are they reading now? Why are they sending love and checking in?
Yeah.
And you can make yourself a little bit nuts with it, as opposed to maybe they are just sending love and checking in, which is why your voice notes are helpful, because I can always hear your tone.
Yeah, I'm always like, are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Like, are you celebrating? You remember I didn't celebrate that much. Are you celebrating?
Are you celebrating? You have to celebrate. You have to enjoy this. Huge. This is huge.
This is huge. It's big.
It's
It's big.
big.
It's big. You just launched as ever. Sold
Yes.
out. Everything sold out in under an hour.
Everything. Yeah.
And
45 minutes.
well, and so many entrepreneurs,
Let me do it. Let me. No, keep playing.
they don't realize how hard it is until they do it. And the world now can see these wins, which is really exciting. But you've been working so hard. Like you've been working so hard for so long. And all of a sudden it's all coming, like everything is blossoming right now.
Yes. Well, and with actors, that happens a lot too, where they say, this overnight success story. And they're saying, I have been on this grind and auditioning for 10 years and hearing no after no after no after no after no. So yes, 10 years and a night.
Yeah.
But to the world, it's just, what has she been doing? Does she?
Oh, she's been working on this jam for 10 years?
This is another form of gaslighting. She's going to say, well, everyone's like, well, wait a second. This has taken her 5 years, because it is. It's a crappy brand. And yes, we are asking
5 minutes.
We're asking you, why did this take you so long? And she's like, well, people don't. I know what she's going to say here. But
Okay,
people
well,
just
let's
don't
listen to it.
You work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I work so hard and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
Really? You had a chance to see what hard
work
work looked
was.
like when you were in the royal family.
You were a royal.
You saw Princess Anne working. You saw the whales working. You saw your father-in-law and Queen Camilla working. What? You saw Sophie and Edward.
Why didn't you work then?
Yes.
And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done.
Yeah.
It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the
Okay, wait. No.
Wait.
No,
More
No,
products?
wait. No, listen. This is what's interesting, because I asked Dad this, because this was one of the clips I had seen today.
Yeah.
And I asked Dad this. I go, Dad, when you had retail stores, he doesn't have retail stores anymore, but when you did have retail stores and you sold the film and they would sell frames and albums and everything that goes with photo finishing and everything. I go, did you wait until you were completely out of stock in the back room before you would order again? He goes, no, I would have your mom go out there and count how many we had out there. And then if we were low on, if we had maybe one box left, I'd order it. Megan's saying, well, it's sold out, so now we have to restock. That should have already been, if you're working so hard on something, on a business.
She only had 10.
She should have already had that in her head. How are we going to replenish things?
She's lying.
I'm just trying to, from a business standpoint.
checking in.
Yeah.
And you can make yourself a little bit nuts with it, as opposed to maybe they are just sending love and checking in, which is why your voice notes are helpful, because I can always hear your tone.
Yeah, I'm always like, are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Like, are you celebrating? You remember I didn't celebrate that much. Are you celebrating?
Are you celebrating? You have to celebrate. You have to enjoy this. Huge. This is huge.
This is huge. It's big. It's big. It's big. You just launched as ever. Sold out. Everything sold out in under an hour.
Everything. Yeah.
And
45 minutes.
well, and so many entrepreneurs, they don't realize how hard it is until they do it. And the world now can see these wins, which is really exciting. But you've been working so hard. Like you've been working so hard for so long.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's all coming, like everything is blossoming right now.
Yes. Well, and with actors, that happens a lot too, where they say, this overnight success story. And they're saying, I have been on this grind and auditioning for 10 years and hearing no after no after no after no after no. So yes, 10 years and a night.
Yeah.
But to the world, it's just, what has she been doing? Does she work? As opposed to, oh my gosh, I work so hard and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard. And And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done.
Yeah.
It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line and what's the cadence of it and what's the photography that we want to do and what do I want to wear for those shoots, while also editing all the time-coded notes for season 2 of With Love Meghan, and then being in edits for the podcast and being a mom and a wife.
Okay. First of all, it's not season 2. It is part 2.
You have filmed that bitch
You did
already.
not do anything with the editing bay. Okay, they did all of that. And also, now you're a mom. I gotta hear this.
And a friend.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs. I mean, I love being that busy, but I do think it's really interesting when people have no sense of what goes into the thing.
Yeah.
And then when the thing seems as though it's like, oh, wow, huge. The thing's not done.
Right.
The finish line was really the starting line.
Yes. Yes. I feel it's so funny. And, in the past, 15 years, I've had so many people, whether I mentor them or they're mentors of mine, and then they're going to start a business in a different way for the first time, or they're friends, and they are so excited to launch a business. Then they do, and they're like, oh, it never stops.
Yeah.
When you have and everyone listening who has this experience, whether you've launched your own business or you are right now, it never stops. Like, you got to be ready. Like, I feel like entrepreneurship and parenting, those two things are like the hardest. You shared in a New York Times interview recently, you said that you need to work and you love to work. Can you share more about that?
Well, I've loved New York Times cooking and New York Times food for a long time. So that was a fun one for me. No, I need to work because it fills my cup. Also, we need to work for practical reasons. You need to work, pay your bills. You need to work. But
What you're doing right now is not going to pay your bills. You are going to have to sell that house in Montecito.
She's talking to Harry right now. This is projection.
This is projection.
Harry,
look
we
at
gotta work.
At her face.
We gotta work. We gotta pay our bills,
gotta
Harry.
pay our bills.
She's not talking to herself. She's talking to Harry right now.
Yeah, we're just average people.
Yeah.
That pay our bills.
fuels me in such a huge way.
Your eyes sparkle when you're talking about creating and watching other people create, like at the Broadway show.
Yeah, I love
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what, and I also love being with a crew and a team. So Suits, that was 7 years of my life. And that's a crew of over 200 people. It's a lot of people on a team. And even on the series that I just did for Netflix, when people are saying, why wouldn't you film this in your own kitchen, at your own house? That's a crew of 80 people.
Yeah.
Would you have 80 people in your house when your kids are coming home from school or for lunch? No, I want my home and my kitchen to be a sacred place that my kids associate with me cooking for our family.
Okay.
Unless it's bringing in the New York Times to take pictures of me making banana pudding or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Or unless it's me
Insta stories.
doing Insta stories in the kid's face and then showing it to all my 2.7 million followers and more. I might add the looky-loos. So yeah, Megan, we get it.
We get it.
We get it.
Yeah.
So finding a place and really trying to not have to explain those choices, but be really confident in the choices that I've made that are in the best and highest good for me and for my family.
Yeah.
I've always loved to work.
I remember when it cosmetic.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
that 1 hour a week was really working.
But she is a hustler. I'll give her that.
This is my living room, and I had no separate. My whole home felt like an office for so long because we couldn't afford a separate place. And then when we finally could, I was like, okay.
Did you like it, or did you miss having it at home?
No, I don't miss it. I don't miss that part of it because Megan, I had thousands of product samples all over my living room. It looked like an episode of
I've got
Storage
jam
Wars
everywhere.
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my gosh, I look like a Costco or something. There's just boxes. So do you need
Everywhere.
more? Yes, and then also you have to keep in mind so that the actual brand and business is happening with all of these products that we've tested and tested and tested to scale it to what I'm making on my stove.
Yeah, you're a hard worker. There are times we get together and I'm like, I just want to have DoorDash come in. And you're like, let's make some. And I'm like, I know, I just want a glass of wine and to hang out. And you're like,
yeah.
no, but it's like, it's in you. I was going to ask you that actually, because, you know, just to share some kind of fun moments, because I really want to take people.
You guys, these are the two unfunniest women I have ever had the privilege of listening to in my entire life.
So bad.
Behind the scenes into this. The first time, so I know you look at all the data, it is impossible to have a true friendship or a true relationship with anybody, a true connection if you don't show up fully authentically.
Yes.
And I remember one of the times you're at my house and I've seen all the beautiful stuff you make, and it's just like it's in you. You just like make these things, and you and I were raised. You and I were raised with TV dinners on a TV tray.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and somehow you just, it's like in you. And I remember you came over. I'm like, I'm gonna make Meghan a charcuterie tray, which I just learned that word a few years ago, charcuterie. Anyways, like I'm making a charcuterie tray. So I put it all together. And I looked at it, and I remember you came over, and I was like,
very proud of you. The effort was A for effort.
It was an A for effort, and my daughter, who is 6, can make one way better than I make. She loves to cook, but I just remember just being like, if we're gonna have a real friendship, like this is who I am. And I remember you just loved it. And then I asked you, I'm like, okay, just so I know, what would you do to like make it like a little bit, you know, more, you know, welcoming, aesthetically pleasing. And then like, I felt like somehow you had this magic wand, and in like 10 seconds, you go in my pantry, you go in the fridge, and you like do these things. And I look down at it and I'm like, what in the world? Like, it looks like all of a sudden, like it looks like a cover of a magazine. Like it's just in you. And so
it's a fucking charcuterie board. I'm sorry. I'm drinking.
It's cheese and salami.
Are you kidding me?
You put some grapes down, maybe some dates.
Oh my God.
Some crackers.
You mean to tell me that mystifies you?
That going into your pantry mystified you? Oh, dear God.
2 questions. One is, you know, where did that come from? And but also probably a year ago now, I remember.
Where did that come from? We're treating her like she's like you were treating her like she's Sabrina the Teenage Witch now.
I remember someone else's kid falling on the playground. Tons of people there. You're the first one to run over there. You don't even think about it. It's like you're over there, you're taking care of that child, like right away. I've seen you do this in multiple places. You know, you speak of strawberries. When I was like super stressed out one time, I had in-laws and all these people visiting.
You had a very full house.
She's acting why Megan's always the first one there when something goes down, because she's so used to running in front of Harry. She's always like the first one there.
Very full house. And all of a sudden I get word that, you know,
drop something off.
All of a sudden you dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream.
Stephanie, did you notice something about the writing on there?
What does it say?
Look to the left on the second line.
I can't see it. It's blurry.
Well, what was one thing that they were not supposed to do when they left the UK?
Use their titles.
I can swear I see HRH for Her Royal Highness. Now, if that isn't a stab in the back to our late queen, and they wonder why. She's doubling down now, so I guess, Megan, we're going to have to double down. You don't want to know what Stephanie and I are going to do to double down. It's going to be bad. But this pisses me off. Yeah, now I'm mad.
Watch.
Just to see if that helps lighten my load. It was like as if you're in my shoes, feeling what I was feeling without me even needing to tell you anything. And you're doing something that adds value to my life. Yeah. And when I see the joy, like my daughter loves cooking, and you all of a sudden.
She makes very good charcuterie boards.
Oh my gosh. Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
That's what, 6 years old. She makes
years old.
Amazing crudité and charcuterie boards.
And she wants to be a chef when she grows up. And you drop off this board that says Chef Wonder on it. Like, so do you feel, because I think also when people watch with Love Megan, whether they know how to do any of that stuff or not, whether they're learning by watching the show, or I've read a lot of people also just love it because it just helps them feel calm. They don't want to watch whatever's going on in the news. They just want to, like, you know, be in that world. Knowing how to do all these things, like, is it a passion you've studied hard for, or is it just sort of like this innate talent?
I think I have a really classic aesthetic in terms of how I see things. I've never ever considered myself artistic. So it's really odd to voice that now, as all of this is people are like copying my handwriting or how I put a plate together or how I put an outfit together.
Wait, put an outfit together?
You copy people.
No. Put an out. You don't even know how to steam an outfit, let alone put one together. So don't say you know how to put an outfit together.
Yeah.
Beige, Miss Beige.
I've never thought of it. Like, I don't paint. I would love to learn how to knit. Oh my gosh. I just can't figure it out. I've tried forever. I'm as bad as knitting as I am at playing tennis. I'm just terrible at certain things. And I found an old report card from when I was at Hollywood Schoolhouse. Maybe I was probably Archie's age. Oh yes, because our kids got their report cards. So I was thinking about memory lane with that. I'll get back to your question in a second, but you'll like this, where you're going through, and that's when grades weren't A, B, C, D at that age.
Yeah.
It's right, like satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or I don't know what the best one would be, but it came to ability to throw and catch a ball, not applicable. Oh my gosh. It's like, well, I'm a great runner if someone is chasing me. Otherwise, just not the most athletic. So there are certain things that we have built in as strengths, and then there are certain things that are opportunities for growth. And I love when things look beautiful. And even when you don't have a lot, you're able to make things look beautiful. And
But you have a lot, and you still make them look like crap.
Eggs with flour sprinkles are not beautiful.
That's not beautiful.
It looks like shit on a cracker.
I think about small apartments that I've had, or, you know, small tiny kitchens that I had, or even when I had my first apartment, and I went to Northwestern in Evanston, and when I moved out of
lies,
the sorority that I lived in for a couple years, then I had my own little apartment. It was tiny, great little studio apartment. And that's when I would sit there and watch Food Network all the time and learn how to make certain things and make really, like, how to make a pasta more special. And you would see plating. You would see someone drizzle the olive oil on top. And somehow,
Megan, we all did that in college. You're not like,
you're not special.
You're not special in that sense.
You didn't learn anything different than we did.
And then we tried to do it too. I'm going to play them. I'll put that up on our next live, the time we would cook for everybody at Matilda.
Yeah.
You know that.
Guys, we'll stop cursing.
Oh, sorry.
I elevated it beyond what I thought were, which still are, by the way. I would like great dinners at Olive Garden, right? Like, loved a never-ending pasta bowl. But no one was drizzling and finishing a plate. No one was making it present as beautifully as it was going to taste. And I loved watching people get excited about that when they'd see it. And I guess that translates into a lot of different things, but it's attention to detail. And what does attention to detail for me mean? It's kind of rooted in what people's experience of it is going to be. So it makes them happy to receive it. It makes me happier to give it to them. It does. Like, I knew when I dropped off that strawberry, it wasn't even preserves. It didn't have time to set. I just made a quick one because we had a lot of strawberries at the time. And I heard what you were saying and how many people were there. And I just knew that even if we never talked about it, that it would brighten your day in what was probably a really overwhelming day. That made me feel excited at the possibility of being able to have some offering that would make you feel good. And I guess over the years, like, again, back to wanting to feel seen and wanting people to feel seen, it shows that you're really listening to what their needs are It shows that you can show up for them no matter what you have going on. And a lot of that's probably doing the things for other people that I had missed for so long when you don't feel seen or when you feel lonely and you just want someone to like reach out in a meaningful and thoughtful way, not with a huge gesture, but something of like, no, I really like, I see you. I'm thinking about you over there. Tiny, tiny things that really just move the needle. It could change someone's life. So yeah, it brings me a lot of joy.
It's like when I put the pretzels in a bag for my friend Daniel. I mean, it's just little things like that. And then it really did change his life. I love the editor.
That to me is not work. That's complete joy.
You sharing that reminds me of a moment. I remember, yeah, we have a lot of fun in the rocking chairs. Yeah, we have all the things. Yeah. And also, I'm thinking about one moment where I was having the worst day and I was so sad. And I remember you canceled a date night, came over, sat in the rocking chairs, and I was like, sorry, H. I was like, I was like crying. I had no makeup, so I had my bright red rosacea, and I was like, ah. And
I could just tell you just I was like, I don't think so. We have a date night. You're like, okay. I was like,
what you just shared is the most powerful advice. It's like when you have felt unseen or you have felt like maybe you had needs in friendships or this or that. It's like be the friend that you want in your life, and you do that. Your close friends and family, so many of them call you M and Harry H.
Yes.
How did that speak currently, Michelle?
Sorry.
I'm Jamie. Welcome.
To do that, I tried to.
What did you want to say?
I was going to say what family, because she just said she has family, and I'm thinking to myself, what family does she have? I think it's Doria is her only family member out there. Sorry, guys. I actually
handbag by this amazing company.
Yeah, just start here.
The sorority that I lived in for
I'll go up.
Really just move the needle. It could change.
No, they stop.
You like do these things, and I look down at it
already. No.
And I'm like, what in the world?
So that was 7 years of my life.
Okay.
Knowing she was
fine.
Really just move the needle. It could change someone's life. So yeah, it brings me a lot of joy to do that. That to me is not work. That's complete joy.
You sharing that reminds me of a moment. I remember, yeah, we have a lot of fun in the rocking chair.
Go up.
My rosacea is red right now with no makeup on.
Yeah, perfect time. Just keep it.
That she would share and say about her mother.
Oh, what a great question. I hope she says, I know that they'll feel like, oh my gosh, no one has ever loved someone more than the way our mom loved us. And I put that in practice, that's part of every day how I show up for them. And I read a lot of parenting books. I really want to be good at it. I think a lot of stuff comes naturally, and a lot of stuff you can also we can all use tools. But one of our mom friends, she had said to me last year that she just created sort of secret email addresses for her kids that she'll give to them at some point in their life. And she would just send to them, random pictures, the pictures that you aren't going to put in a frame.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great time capsule to create for them, because I used to love scrapbooks and photo albums, but we're past that generation now. And so I'd created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names, again, that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
I email, because it doesn't have to be a heavy lift, and you email them like, here's your report card from today, or oh my gosh, you said the funniest thing this morning, or here's a picture of you two having breakfast, or here's you playing with the dog. The things that you're not going to frame, the things that you're not going to put pen to paper in a journal, but they will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your whole life.
I have full body chills right now. Let me 16, they're going to end up in therapy.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you something about these email things. This was like a fad that went around Pinterest in 2016. So it's another dated thing to do. Okay. Yeah. And to me, the reason why it didn't become so popular was because parents started looking at it as, well, I don't know why I'm writing this, or I'm saying because I'm talking to them every day. I show them their report card. I want to keep a scrapbook. Like I'm not going to make them. I'm not going to not show them certain pictures and put it in email. We don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. Yeah. We may not have emails or computers. Yeah. So it got very like, it was kind of like an existential thing.
It faded away.
It faded away. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, because could you imagine mom and dad, not with the email thing, but could you imagine mom and dad putting together like a time capsule for us at 18? They wouldn't have anything to put in it because mom and dad were so present and talked to us about anything. There wasn't anything we didn't talk about. So what would they show us? Like, that's so weird.
So weird.
And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and like how proud I am of you, and of all things that's making me emotional. For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much. And that's, I think, the best part about being a mom. And we go back to like a love language or gifts. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about, I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply, and I love being able to see your growth, and I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
Right?
Thank you. It's the greatest gift you can give. That's the gift that will cost you nothing and that will mean everything to your children. You can do it for your partner too. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
No, you should do it for the kids.
Yeah, I'm having these like aha moments right now, thinking about doing that, and also about how many people are going to start doing that.
Yeah.
Start doing that, because that's so beautiful. And I think about like the closest person to me in my entire life is my mom, who adopted me. And when she passed away, like the things she said to me toward the end, when she was basically like, whatever you do in life, don't change. It'd be so sad if you changed. And I'm like, I thought she was always going to say to me, like, you can do anything and you can, know, and she's like, basically what she is saying is who you are is enough. Like, I felt like seen and loved. And I'm thinking about your sweet kids when they get that email one day, and they just.
How about this, Meghan and Jamie? Instead of your mom waiting, why could she have told you that when she was alive? Meghan, instead of you waiting to do it when they're 18, why don't you share these moments with them when they're alive? Do you think we take for granted the time we spend with our parents? Oh, we'll just wait till mom's about 10 minutes out, and hopefully we can then get it all off our chest. By the way, mom, did you know that I loved you? I mean, come on. This is so stupid.
Read it, and that's there forever. Like that is the most beautiful.
It's time capsule, all the things, and I do
and
a
it's
lot
your heart every day that you're giving to them in that way.
Yes,
it's
and,
your like,
and it becomes meditative for me too. But also, like, I do a lot of voice notes of the kids, so I'll just have my phone on as I'm putting them down to bed.
Shocking that Meghan constantly has her phone on while putting the kids to bed. Shocking that Meghan has her phone ready at any point for anything
around her children,
around the children. Shocker.
Because their voices are going to change so much. So it's like they went through that stage where they were so little and they would go, Mama, can I hold you? Because they didn't know. It was like, Mama, can you hold me? And I knew one day it would change, but I have it. So I send them those voices, like, here you are at 2 saying this. Here's you singing a lullaby tonight.
Like, you got the voice note.
Mom and Dad did that with a camcorder.
Yeah.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
Just record it.
Jeez.
And then you emailed it?
Yes. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't have to be something. It's just you're capturing these moments, these tender moments that are going to go by like this. And also I find that when I do it, like, one of the things with parenting, you watch as you're building their confidence and their self-esteem. A word that I use a lot with them is yet, and how to reframe things for a kid when they're like, I can't do it. I can't do it yet. No, I'm not good enough.
What about saying
What
that?
about
Yeah, what about Santa?
What about Santa? Mommy, what about Santa?
He's dead.
He's dead.
Not
That's
good enough yet. And the more that you put into practice these ideas of like, put yet at the end of nearly every sentence, and you feel like there's still hope and a promise that you can do it.
Yes.
But when I type that to my children before I go to bed, guess what? Like, I'm teaching that to them, or I'm reinforcing that.
This is so boring.
But I'm also reinforcing it for myself.
Yes.
Like, I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
I'm just going to say that applies to every adult. That applies to me right now, all of us.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, yet.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Finally, she admits something.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Okay.
Dear God. Oh, you just did what I did.
Sorry. My boyfriend
You're
sent me
fine.
something disgusting just now. Well, he said
Hey, we're fine here.
he suggested we put something in a time capsule of mine. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, just turn it around for God's sakes.
So I ordered some pie on Instacart. We sat there and just ate some pie and laughed and caught up a little bit, and then I came back home.
I was so happy when I saw it.
Yeah, people, I think women were really fired up of like, yes, clap back, enough.
Yes. And
Yeah.
also it's because that's who you are.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what I mean? And I loved it.
And also with the sense of humor,
Yeah.
because it really diffuses so much of it. There's only so many statements you can make or things you can say on the record, or this didn't happen, or
She's talking about Gwyneth. Gwyneth used your ass. She used your ass hardcore, okay?
But Megan thinks she was in on the joke.
Yeah, Megan, you were the joke. You're not getting it, honey.
You were the butt of the joke.
was like, you guys, like, it kind of really defines the age we're living in right now. Where that, if you're saying that was like a week or however long that cycle was going on of this, like, that would have kept going, I would imagine. They would find some other iteration of this fake conflict, just like us fighting.
Yeah.
But there is something really disturbing about the need for people to pit, especially women, against each other. When you're going, but
You've been doing that
Okay,
since
Megan, no,
Megan-
let me stop. No. Megan, listen to me. Who pitted who against this all started with you and a lie. You pitted people against the royal family by calling them racist and then turning around and saying you never said it. This started by you.
You pitted two brothers against each other. You are the bully. When the staff comes out and they start talking about what a bully you are,
Man.
the best day of my life.
No, but see, this is gaslighting because right now,
She is
if
gaslighting.
you were just some person watching this dumbass podcast and you were a fan of this chick and Megan just happened to be on and you're listening to this for the first time, yeah, you're like, wait a second, why do people pick on her?
Yeah.
That's not nice. People shouldn't pick on her. She hasn't done anything wrong.
And then she's like,
No.
I just don't understand why people want to pin other people against me. Okay.
you're my neighbor and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But
It's not fine.
Listen,
Gwen, it's not fine with you.
Megan, you're forgetting the fact that the Vanity Fair article, she said what she said. She said, I don't know her. I'm sure she's nice.
I met her a few times, acquaintance.
But I don't know her. I've never been to her house.
And she made a joke about your security. She said,
Yeah.
well, maybe I'll bring over a pie.
So don't start this.
If I can get through security.
She's acting like the story just came out of nowhere.
She's acting like she's in on the joke.
Yeah, she's not. Trust me, she is the joke.
You're not. You are the joke.
It's wild. So yeah, I was glad that we could just have some fun with it.
I love that you did it.
Yeah.
This is so fun because all the things people know about, we now get to like hear them in your words. So Harry said publicly, so much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion.
Okay, guys.
man.
Okay, guys. Here we are. We are at the point where
Can
it's
we do
going-
our shots now?
Yeah, do your shots, Nancy. We are at the point where Megan and everybody wants to do a shot or take a sip of tea.
Hear about Harry.
Nancy's going to do her shot. This is now
What
where
about
we
you,
get
Steph?
to Princess
Oh, you got-
Diana.
you got your-
I've got my Grey Goose. We're going to start hearing about Princess Diana. We're going to start hearing about Harry and how wonderful of a husband he is. And it's all going to be gaslighting and lies.
Yeah,
so I'm going to take a shot of this Grey Goose. Right out of the bottle, baby. Oh, that's strong. It's strong.
It's probably
watered down. Everybody get your drink. Get 1,000 drinks.
We don't have enough alcohol.
Extra strong tea here, someone says. Okay, we're almost towards the end of this horrible podcast. It's almost over, but before then, we're going to hear about Harry, and it's going to end right into the Diana cosplay.
The only shot glasses you have are those St. Patrick's Day ones.
Well, then put them into a little thing.
No, this one's fine.
Okay. Go, Nancy, go. Go, Nancy, go. Go, Nancy.
These are the only shot glasses she has.
I already did mine.
Okay.
Go, Nancy, go. Go, Nancy, go. Yay. Okay, ready? Okay, we'll start it right now.
She has the same empathy. She has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her. How do you feel about him sharing that?
It's beautiful. I wish I could have met her.
I'm feeling viscerally so happy because I feel like people are I feel like they're really here with us in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff about you I had no idea. Like, and I think I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
But just like the essence of a person. Even one of my friends, you know, Marcus, but Marcus will see certain things and he goes, "Oh, there's my friend."
Yes.
And gets so excited when you can see me reflected in a way that's the me that you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine Marcus and her and crazy ass Doria going to Harry and constantly saying, "We feel your mother in this house."
Look at the essence. Look at the essence. I mean, Meghan is exactly like Diana.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what a gift that is.
It's just so,
yeah, letting me be.
Thank you for letting me be. That's like the best thing a friend could ever say to me.
Oh, well, and you think, even as I said it, I was going, wow. Growing up, you would hear people going, just let me be. But with a completely different intention and intonation, I'm like, thank you for letting me be.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
Oh my gosh. I don't even, okay, so
You both
I have
have
not like
makeup
done a show
on.
with no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look exactly the same though.
Oh.
You look exactly the same. So, okay, these are some of the hot questions that everyone wants to know.
Oh, okay.
Do you watch the royal shows on TV like The Crown or Bridgerton or any of them?
I watch Bridgerton.
Yeah?
Yeah, Bridgerton's a great show.
So
That's a period piece also. And I love Shonda Rhimes shows. So yes.
So much talk about your name. And for me, I'm like, gosh, a lot of families, like when they have to pick up their kids from drop off or have medical records, or I have a lot of friends that don't even still have that name, but they've kept that name because it's important for all the other reasons.
Continuity.
Meghan Sussex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Now I heard there are Sussex chickens and I need to get a couple of Sussex chickens to add to my flock. I'm so excited. Got my girls. Yeah.
And so do you use Markle anymore?
No, not since I got married.
Not since.
Oh, honey, we'll make sure you use Markle.
Sweetheart, you will always be Markle.
As long as I walk this earth, you will be Meghan Markle.
You got married. Yeah. Good to know. This is what everyone wants to know. Okay, what's your morning routine look like?
Well, this morning was different because Archie has a cold, so he's home from school. But I get up at 6:30 and gives me a minute to, I wish I could say I woke up and meditated. I don't do that. I have the monitors on so I could hear both the kids. They get up at 7. So I give myself a little bit of time to either put on workout clothes, brush my teeth, get both of them up. I get them dressed, get them downstairs, make breakfast. And then if I haven't done their lunch boxes the night before, then do that. I love doing lunch boxes. It makes me very happy. And writing a little note in their lunch boxes. Remember when you were doing your first lunch box? I told you little tips there.
Yep.
And then
my mom used to write notes.
My mom would write notes.
That's not a tip.
That's not a tip. That's not being creative.
That's just being a normal person.
Jeez.
And by if I don't have meetings in the morning, then I
What meetings?
What meetings? You don't work.
try to do school drop off. So they're at 2 different schools. So that's our big circuit. So from 6:30 in the morning on drop off mornings for me, I'm not home till 9. So, and then after that, I'll just jump into meetings. And then on other days, then I'll wake up and get them all set. And then our amazing nanny who's been with us for 5 years, she'll take them to school for us. And then, yeah, we always try to, I know that's morning. That's the morning.
That's the
That gets you to 9 a.m.
You're a New York Times bestselling author.
Yeah.
Would you
So are
ever?
you.
Thank you. Would you ever write another?
Twice.
Twice. Would you ever write another book?
Yes, maybe for sure. I think, you know, I love right now working on everything in the space of hospitality and home and entertaining and food and those sort of tips, and something like that I think could be really fun. Of course, children's books are great. And then, you know, I think people are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir, but I've got a lot more life to live before I'm there.
Oh,
That's code for I need to divorce Harry first.
exactly.
Yeah.
The divorce will catapult the memoir. It will expedite it.
Yeah.
Would you ever run for office?
No,
Never.
no,
Thank you.
Never.
Thank you. As an American,
Thank you.
never. Oh God. I mean, you could say never. No, I'm not interested in that. No.
Can you give us one hint on something exciting coming up for As Ever?
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, there's so much in development. Let's say this. If it started with what I was just making on my stove, and it starts in your kitchen as these sweet offerings, actually sweet, and then the extension of what do you pair that with? For me, as we've talked about a lot today, what are these small gestures? What are these thoughtful details? What are these ways that you can show up for someone? Hostess gifts and hospitality is a big category that I'm really excited that we're developing.
You cannot make an entire brand off putting peanut butter pretzels into a bag.
hostess or hospitality, but I don't understand.
Concierge?
Megan, you're just not good on camera. Nobody likes you. You're not a likable person. Nobody can trust you because you lied so much about the royal family. Why would I want to take tips from you on anything? That's what
knows
she's
that.
not understanding. Well, yeah, she does know.
She
that.
knows this. She knows that
She
it's
knows
not.
she's a
She knows this is not season.
No, wait.
She knows this is not going to be season 2. She knows this is going to be part 2 of what they did, and then after that,
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Developing. So yeah, lots to come. And more, of course, jam drops.
Oh,
Why
but I
aren't
thought
they? Why
You said spread.
You said the spring you were going to have your stuff. I don't understand. Like, are you going to wait till the winter to drop the jam again?
Jam
Think
drops.
of them like sneaker drops, just one flavor away.
Jam drops.
Oh, she's trying to be Kanye.
Oh,
She's trying to be easy.
she's easy.
I've had your jam in my refrigerator all year. No one knows. No one's seen it. I have not posted it.
I have so much.
And I
for
just
you.
like all of it. Anything you drop is so good. I'm going to speak on behalf of other girls, women, men, etc., who are like me, who try to make a charcuterie board or do something, and you're like looking at it, and you're like, What I love is you're doing the work for us. You're doing the work for us
with As Ever.
with As Ever. You're with As Ever and with your show.
Wait a second.
Whoa. Don't yell.
We have to stop this though. Come on. Martha Stewart makes it effortless. Okay. Barefoot Contessa makes it effortless. Stanley Tucci makes it effortless. Okay.
She makes it look.
I don't understand what she's doing that everybody else isn't doing.
No, I mean, she's obviously
Guys,
it's her friend trying to sell it.
Nara Smith, look up Nara Smith. She is amazing on TikTok. She's like my favorite person in the world. Nara Smith is killing it. Bloom Ranch is killing it.
She is not doing anything.
I don't get this.
For the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
But with your products. And I'm telling you, when I built It Cosmetics, that was one thing I was really good at. Because I don't like to do makeup. Like you see my rosacea, nothing ever worked. I knew if it worked for me, it's going to do the work for someone who does not want to learn how to do makeup. One of the things I love most about As Ever, My daughter, who's 6, just made cookies with flour sprinkles.
Yeah.
Like, we look like we know what we're doing.
You do.
I mean, we could open a bakery.
Could.
And it's because you're doing the work for customers in your products.
Oh,
That is huge.
that's
That,
kind.
to me, is like a 1 in a billion key to success.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. It doesn't need to feel complicated.
Yeah.
And that's the piece like that.
That's because it's not. It's not.
Your version is not complicated. Your version is some like half-ass cookie recipe that nobody wants, that probably tastes like garbage.
I really want to get across is what can you do in your everyday that I don't want to just buy the thing. I do want to have my hands in it.
Yeah.
And that's
God, don't buy the cookies.
Do not buy the cookies. She put her hands in
and
that.
the crepe mix.
Do not
or
buy
the jam
anything
or the jam
that Meghan puts her hands in. Talk about
this. When I was doing the kids' birthday parties, I would say, I remember someone's like, "Are you going to get a planner, a party planner for a 2-year-old's birthday?" I don't know. Okay, you could go buy all the stuff. I don't want to buy the stuff, but I also don't have time to make all the stuff. So
currently, Michelle. And if we're
Wait a second.
You're
so
so
she's
relatable.
So wait a second. Is she stealing ideas from party pieces now?
Yeah.
From Kate and Kate's parents?
Yeah, now she's stealing it.
She's gonna start party pieces.
Exactly.
What if she does try to rip off party pieces?
Oh my God.
no matter what it is, it comes with critics, it comes with opposition, it comes with failure. I think about the number of times I failed in growing at cosmetics, or the no's that I got, or the times where it would have been so much easier to give up. Millions of times. It would have been so much easier to give up. And you are in the arena. So I want to close on this because I just know there's somebody listening to you and me right now, watching us right now, who needs this in their life.
And we've never talked about this quote. I love this quote. When you said, I was like,
about it.
The arena.
We never talked about it. And when I was literally praying before this interview today, and this is what kept coming to me. And I think that all of us together collectively in our own lives can almost like lean into this quote. So this is by Theodore Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong woman stumbles. I'm going to paraphrase here. Or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood.
That's Duper's delight.
Who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends herself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if she fails, at least fails while daring greatly. That is you, my friend. I love you. Thank you for trusting me with your first ever podcast and with your friendship.
Yeah.
And with,
Means a lot, Jamie. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you. I have something for you.
Oh gosh.
You're the one always giving gifts. Why am I so emotional?
I don't know. Why am I so emotional? But we do kind
You're not Meghan. You're just faking it.
You're faking it.
of always get emotional in the rocking chairs.
It's true, because we're in the
It's the
rocking
energy
chairs.
of the chair.
It's the energy of rocking chair friend.
Oh.
Remember, this episode's not just
Where's the part I totally missed? I asked. No.
And
Oh my God, when we went on the hike.
the time I
Wait,
went on a
no.
hike with you,
I totally missed the hairy thing. Did you see?
Oh
the
no,
hairy
it's
thing?
no, it was I
Harry's
heard
the
it.
fox.
Whatever.
Harry's the fox.
Well, I'm sure he is. That was painful. How drunk are you?
I'm not that drunk, unfortunately.
You had 2 shots of tequila. We apologize, guys, for the mic.
we need a new cord.
We
It's
need a
my
new
and it's
cord.
my fault for not.
Just
ordering
let's
it.
not move
Okay.
it too much. But what do you guys think about that? I think that was just another friend of hers coming in on her defense, trying to say, this woman is not a bully. This woman is a wonderful soul. She's one of the best friends I've
Yeah.
ever had in my life.
I think you're right.
She's the most talented woman. I mean, look what she does with these flowers. And then did you see then they were trying to sell what's her name? Who's the chick who was doing that whole thing?
What?
Who's the chick, the podcaster who was doing that?
Oh,
Lima, whatever.
Kern Lima.
Lima,
I don't know what
girl.
her name is. She's not important enough for me to remember.
Did you notice at the very beginning,
Jamie
Kern Lima. They were talking about, worthy, and they kept saying worthy.
Yeah,
so they were just trying to like sell the book, and then we're gonna sell your stuff. So this is just gonna be one big info commercial. Watch this.
To the untrained eye, I can see how it's a grift. Like, listen, this Jamie Kern Lima girl, she's a grifter. Anytime it's a self-help guru who's involved with Oprah, they're grifters. Allegedly, they're grifters, guys, and they don't care about you. They don't really care about you. They just want your money. They want your energy. They want your time. And Meghan really wants to get in that circle, but we're not going to let her, because you can't do that to the royal family and think you're going to get away with it.
Yeah, what was with all the blinking?
And the gaslighting was crazy.
Oh, that was crazy. And just the line. I mean, I worked at this place called Humphrey Yogarts. And it was when I was like 13. And then I went to Northwestern.
Yeah.
I went to and wherever we went to things that were fun too.
No, but you know what? I think the thing that struck me, and I'm sure I'll have a different opinion tomorrow, but the thing that struck me the most today was how they were really pushing her as an entrepreneur, and how, as ever, is some sort of success. I'm not seeing the numbers to prove that. I'm just not.
I'm not either.
So
and did you notice they didn't mention La Manada? But did you notice too that they were actually trying to say that it sold out in 45 minutes? And Meghan did this thing with her eye. She was blinking a lot, which means she was lying a lot. But she was like, yeah, and we have to restock that, because it's just going to take so much time, to restock all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, honey, you probably had 10 that were bought. What happened?
Just keep going.
Oh, sorry. You probably had 10 that were bought by you or Harry. Yeah. And then that just showed up, it's like, and now we have to restock stuff. Ooh. But let me just tell you that was, I can't believe we watched the whole thing.
We had to. We promised everybody, if you did, and I said, if you guys don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. We'll do a Reader's Digest.
What a nightmare. Version. I think tomorrow though we should clip it and do like a show.
Yeah,
do a show.
Yeah,
where
I did. I promised
parts.
everybody. Okay. So today, if you did enjoy this live and Stephanie and I going through this nightmare, please don't give to us. Please go directly to the description box and hit that link below. It's going to take you over to Sweet Angel Dog Rescue. They rescue high-risk animals out of high-kill shelters, and they are just a wonderful organization over in California, which unfortunately is a kill state. Boo! But look at all these animals that they've rescued. Isn't this wonderful? Look at that.
And thanks to everybody who gave any super stickers or tips here. All that money that goes over there. Any money that you gave on this show, we will send it directly to them. 100%.
Yes, so thank you so much, guys, for giving. We do this for the animals. So, God, that was hard. I'm gonna go.
I want to thank everybody who stuck with us. We had 5,000 people in the chat. So if you guys like this, please give it a like and a follow, and all that just bounces back to animal charities.
We're gonna have this digest, and then we will do a show on it tomorrow with the cliff notes.
Yes, we will have cliff notes.
Yes.
Cliff notes.
Cliff notes.
All right. Well, we love you so much, and we will see you tomorrow. Love you. Joy. Joy.
Seth.
Yes. Yes, joy. Yes, joy. Yes, joy.